Black History Month is an annually observed month-long celebration of African American life, history, and culture. This year, as it turns 100, we celebrate the story of an iconic American phenomenon. And though he's known for wearing many hats, including entrepreneur, author, advocate, public speaker, and television personality, his name makes most people think of just one thing. Going against all odds, he was able to take a simple product and turn it into a massive brand. But the path to success was anything but straight. From a childhood delivering newspapers and polishing shoes, to a barrier-breaking career in New York City surrounding him with some of the biggest names in music, he would eventually realize that life is short, celebrities are exhausting, and sometimes you have to follow your dreams. And while becoming famous was not his priority, it not only became his reality, but also his name. And that's why this week's On Brand is on Famous Amos.
We're all jazzed up, really having a cow. You want your favorite show, and it's on right now. It's on brand.
Welcome to On Brand with Jon and Marisa.
Hey, I'm Jon.
I'm Marisa.
Okay.
Wow. Vending machine staple, Famous Amos.
Which depresses the hell out of me once we get into the show. The fact that it is a vending machine cookie is so depressing.
Really?
Yeah.
I've heard a little bit about this story over the years, and I don't remember any details, but I remember Bumsky Rumsky.
What's bum? I don't even know. I don't even have
Sad Bumsky Rumsky.
Oh. I was like, oh crap.
I don't have Bumsky Rumsky.
Is that one of his companies? You're not aware of Bumsky Rumsky? It's a pretty interesting story.
Sure.
I figured I did condoms last time. Let's do cookies this time. And then I was like, maybe that's the title of like a game or something, from condoms to cookies, the on-brand guide to life or something like that.
I love it. And it's even, no matter where the story goes, it's great to celebrate, obviously, an African-American inventor, business owner, and somebody who we don't know a lot about, but we certainly know his name. We certainly know his product.
I know more about this man now. So what happened is I picked this a little while ago. I've been researching this for a good bit. And yesterday, I don't know, around 2, I was pretty close to finishing the show. And then I did one search, and I came across a 6-part podcast from his daughter about his life.
Oh, no.
So I sat there, and I have never binged a podcast in my life. I now understand why people play around with the 1.5, 2 times speed.
This is the second podcast you've ever listened to?
Basically.
Or maybe first.
I mean, yeah. I don't know why anyone listens to podcasts. No, I just not my thing. I listen to music more than anything. But yeah, I'm plowed through this. And what was kind of cool is a lot of the way I had the story laid out was the same way that she did.
Cool.
Her name's Sarah Amos. It was for Vanity Fair. Really lovely little 6-part documentary.
Awesome.
Check it out. There's obviously a lot more that she goes into that we don't need to go into about his life, but I feel solid with where we're at on his story.
That's great. Yeah. That's great. So we have how many pages of research?
We're at 7 we're like 7.25.
Okay, great.
But I also 2 pages of that is the history of Black history.
Oh, great.
So
great. So we're learning a lot today.
And that was the other thing. Like I've always known of Black History Month. It's like just something that it's been a part of our lives.
Yes.
But I know nothing about its origin. So I kind of wanted to learn about that.
It's just been a thing. It's just
been
on the calendar every year.
So I was like, let's learn about that.
Great.
Yeah. So we have Valentine's coming up. Are you excited? That for us, that means you get your annual 2-pound box of See's candy, which I get none of for some reason.
You have to show up.
I come on Friday. They're like, it's all gone. And we finished it on Wednesday.
When you pick up 2 pounds of See's candy, you're like, God, this is a lot. And then like 3 days later, you're like, that whole box is inside me. I ate it all.
I hate thinking of when things are inside me.
Why?
Like food. I don't know. It grosses me out. Like sometimes someone will burp and I was like,
that burp was inside?
I was like, that's what your insides smell like.
I'd rather smell a fart than a burp.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'd rather smell cologne.
Aqua di Gio.
Aqua di Gio. Soap on a rope.
Someone chugged a bottle of Aqua di Gio and then burped.
Yeah.
Wow, that'd be romantic.
Sure.
I did a little looking into escape rooms because that's our tradition is that we do escape rooms on Fridays.
Right.
You're grimacing as if you don't want to go.
Are we doing that Friday?
I mean, you mean tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Do you have a plan?
Oh, God. Existing is exhausting.
I was actually leaving the cat food store yesterday, and I had said to David, because on his lunch break, we went and got some cat food, really fun stuff. And
Life of a married woman.
we're walking out of the cat food store, and I'm saying, oh, shoot, we need to look into an escape room. And then the lady who worked at like the laundromat next door, she came out, she goes, they had just opened a new one at City Walk. And I was like, oh, ma'am. She's like, yeah, it's called Escapology. I hear they have pretty good rooms, pretty like brand new. And it says City Walk, so pretty close. We're like, oh, awesome. Yeah, they're always so far away. She's like, yeah, they're always so far away. But a good like human spirit bonding with a stranger.
I don't know if that's human. I don't know if I'd put that into human spirit.
Would you call it good?
Just interaction. I think that's just a basic interaction.
It was a cute, bold interjection from an eavesdrop. Which I love that.
Here's the thing. If you don't live in LA, City Walk is part of Universal Studios. It's like downtown Disney. It's like where it's free to go to before you get into the park. There's like Popcornopolis. There's BB King's Barbecue.
Margaritaville still maybe, not sure.
Bubba Gump Shrimp.
Yeah,
all those types
all those
of places.
Uh-huh.
Voodoo Donuts, which are overrated.
Agreed.
But I never go there because I never know when I have to pay for parking. When I was there 8 years ago, parking was $20. And I don't know when it's complimentary. Like, can we go to the escape room and they cover parking?
They should.
I refuse to pay for $20 parking to do something.
We have grossly normalized paying for parking in this city in a way that when we were running on our cat food errand, we pulled up to a broken meter that could not accept tender, and there was like a printed sticker from the city on it that says if one form of payment is not working, you need to find another form of payment that does work or park somewhere else.
Yeah, they're not.
You bitch.
Yeah.
How dare you?
That has changed. Everything's like 10, 20 years ago now, but I parked at a meter a long time ago and it was flashing fail on it. And I took a picture of the fail.
Yes.
Ended up getting a ticket. Sent my photo in and they wiped the ticket away.
Amazing.
I
think they've since changed it because it used to be if the meter's broken, you don't have to pay because like what are you supposed to do?
What are you supposed to do? Leave a shilling on the ground and run into Doc Martens? Peek into my Saturday.
Exactly. Right.
Run around with a pocket of shillings. Where can I
swishing with 6 shopping bags full of Doc Marten boots?
You don't work on commission, right? Well, then I guess it wasn't a big mistake. My ankles are bleeding because Doc Martens are notoriously hard to break in.
Sure. And you need a sock that covers your ankles or else you are going to be chafed.
You need like 9 socks. The last time I wore my Docs, I had not broken them in. Like they have instructions on the website of how you have to break them in.
Yeah. It's like leave them in a bathtub filled with boiling water for 3 days. Run over them with your car.
Yeah.
You need to wrap your legs in ace bandages up to the knee.
Yeah. It's like razor blades on the back of your heel.
I did look at Escapology, the City Walk escape rooms. I find searching for an escape room to be quite overwhelming.
It all seems like...
Have you ever booked one?
No.
Okay.
I have you. Like, what am I going to do?
So whatever part of society, culture that likes escape rooms is also the same type of spectrum that also likes databases. So
FileMaker Pro.
It's FileMaker Pro. Unlike any other cause it's like, oh, restaurants, everyone likes restaurants. You don't Google like Mexican restaurants near me and there's like 900 ranked lists with star systems, metrics, quantified, searchable, whatever, like Excel spreadsheets. This is a really interesting subset of the escape room community.
I didn't know that.
So it's overwhelming. And you can see Lab Rat, the one that we did, that's like a great escape room in LA.
Done twice.
John accidentally did it twice. He forgot that he did it. If you're in LA, that is commonly seen as like the best escape room in LA. But they're like ranked down to like 789. And so then you're like looking and they're all in cities that like you've never heard of that are apparently 15 miles from where we live, but never heard of them. We've gone to so many random ass neighborhoods walking past barking dogs
so
to
far
an
away.
Unmarked warehouse where you have to like put in a keypad and you're like sure that you're going to be murdered.
We go to one that's like a half an hour away that's like on a strip mall next to a porn store. So after we finish, you have to talk to a vending machine to get in. And then like after we're done, we always go into the porn store and like walk around and giggle.
And that's usually our Valentine's Day one because it's next to the adult store. So it's like very romantic.
Right.
Yes.
But we've done all of those.
We've done all those. That's the basement. That's a great experience.
That
too.
one involved one where we had to kill a person, like a live human being.
Yes.
We had to like kill them.
Yes.
She's like, you won't kill me, will you? We're like, no, of course not. We're just here to get out.
And then we like huddled in a trailer and we were like, we need to kill her, right? Yeah. And then we had to like break the news. We electrocuted her, I think. We electrocuted a woman and we paid like $60 each to do it.
What a job. And then she leaves there at like 11 o'clock at night. She's got her closeout work that she has to do. Put the props back in place. Stops at Taco Bell on the way home.
Well, no, there was a standalone. Not
Arby's.
Arby's.
There was a strip mall Arby's, which I had never seen before.
Yeah, you were really excited about that.
I like seeing something in an unusual place. Like people were talking about how there's Build-A-Bears on their cruise ships. It's just fun.
It's fun. It's fun. So I got a little intimidated. I was poking around Friday night, Valentine's weekend. It is very kind of like picked over, I would say, for time slots. It's like you can go at 10:45 p.m. or you can go at 5.
Well, we are looking one day before.
Where I did start looking yesterday after the cat food errand. And so if it's possible, we could do it on another day. Because I like to do 2 escape rooms a year. I like one in February and I like one in October.
Okay.
That's how many I need.
I feel like I've recently gotten a coupon for escape rooms too. So maybe I'll see. Maybe we can take advantage of that.
Yeah, let's figure it out. The last one we did was just so good. The Titanic one.
Titanic one was fantastic. But man, that started off rough. Remember how I was house sitting and you guys said you would pick me up, and then like 40 minutes before you're like, actually we're running late because we decided to have children, and can you just meet us there? It's like an hour away in like on a Friday.
It was faster. You would have gotten there faster yourself than with us driving out of the way to go to stop at Sherman Oaks.
I sat in the house and I was like, I'm not going. And then I was like,
you called the escape room and you said like, don't let them in and don't tell them that I'm coming.
Yeah, well, yeah. Then I decided to go, and it took just as long as I thought it would. I couldn't find it. It had some weird parking thing.
Sure,
you had to park on like the
does. I hate parking
floor.
on the roof. You're parking it in a basement. It's terrible.
I'm calling them. I'm like, listen, I'm running late. Don't let them know I'm coming.
I'm stewing, but
I'm gonna be there. But I want my friends to think I'm still stewing. So don't tell them.
But it was a really good escape room.
It worked out fine. And we had fun. And then we went to, what was that, Chili's? Or
Islands.
And had some fun little sliders.
We had sliders. They were great. Islands was like, we had to like wait 20 minutes to eat at Islands.
It was like next to all these corporate buildings. We didn't know what was going on.
So we might have to think of an alternative romantic plan for tomorrow night.
All right. Maybe we'll save that for
off-brand.
Well, why don't we get into this since I've got a little dense show. Let's see if we can figure this out. Like I said, the first thing I want to talk about is just the history of Black History Month.
Love it.
So with that, I'm going to start with a guy named Carter G. Woodson. In the summer of 1915, 3 years after the sinking of Titanic, he travels from Washington, D.C. to Chicago because they're having this 3-week national celebration of the 15th anniversary of emancipation.
Amazing.
So it's like thousands of African Americans traveling across the country to see these exhibits, and it's all about highlighting the progress that has been made since the end of slavery. They're holding it in this Coliseum, and that ends up, which is huge, by the way, and it ends up not being big enough. There's thousands of people in the queue outside. I don't know if they called it a queue back then, but they're zigzagging all the way down the street.
This is very human spirit. Imagine TikTok of this, the outpouring, swelling music. Jennifer Hudson belting it out live.
If I was the time-traveling hamburger man, I would go back to this event just so I could film the line.
Yeah, you'd go viral.
So the line's really long, and Woodson is just really inspired by the turnout. He's like, you know what? If there's this many people here, I feel like there is a bigger need for this. So he decides then and there that he wants to form an organization that promotes the study of Black life and history. On September 9th, Hello, my birthday.
What?
Not my act. I mean,
Well, maybe.
On my
1915.
He forms the Association for, and I'm going to have to say Negro a few times in the show. That's just the terminology that was used back then. He formed the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, the ASNLH. A year later, he forms the Journal for Negro History, which is all their findings they'll put in this journal and they'll get that out. And as his researchers uncover stories, he's encouraging like the black civic leaders of the time to promote them. I knew Spectrum would call me while I was here because I haven't paid my bill. Decline, girl. Spectrum called me like 5 times yesterday, wanting their $200. Babe, chill. I'm watching I was listening to a podcast all day.
Sure, okay.
Chill. I hate Spectrum. Like the mafia.
They hate you.
Like, call him again. It's been 20 minutes. Call him again.
Is it a robot or a person?
I've had both.
Yeah. They after the robot doesn't work, they try for the person.
Yeah. And then I really snapped at
Hey,
a person.
John, it's Michael. We're just really wondering if you could just open the Spectrum app, hit pay now.
It's $200, bro. Like, what are you going to do? If you guys are that desperate for $200.
Figure it out. You're fired.
You're fired.
Ever walk past a place for rent and wish you could just take a peek inside? Maybe even explore the layout. Envision the natural light streaming through the windows. Or plan where your vinyl record collection would go. At Apartments.com, you can. With tools like their 3D virtual tours, you can see the exact unit you could be living in. Really envision yourself in your new home with Apartments.com, the place to find a place.
All right, so then Woodson also, he reaches out to like his old fraternity brothers at Omega Psi Phi to do the same thing, just to like spread the word of what they find. Hot. For sure hot. I should find pictures of them just for my own
personal archive.
My archives. So the fraternity brothers end up creating something called Negro Achievement Week. And in 1925, Woodson and the ASNLH decided that it's really kind of up to them to shoulder the responsibility of creating and popularizing knowledge of the Black past. So he sends out a press release announcing Negro History Week will be taking place in February of 1926.
Okay,
so
February. We're already there.
We're here. That's 100 years ago from this moment.
Incredible.
Why February? There was a couple of reasons. It was the birthdays of 2 great Americans who played prominent roles in shaping Black history. You had Abraham Lincoln, born on February 12th, and you had Frederick Douglass, born on February 14th. And ever since Lincoln had been assassinated in 1865, the Black community had been celebrating his birthday, and they had also been celebrating Douglass's since the 1890s.
Wow.
And so the way Woodson went about it was he was like, you know, we're already celebrating these 2 dudes.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's a week. We'll call it Negro History Week, but it's not anything new. You're already doing it. So
we're just giving it a name.
We're just giving this a name.
Love
Put
a theme.
Love a theme.
Great.
Let's keep it consistent. But he really did have the motives. He was not at all really interested in celebrating 2 men and giving them credit for all of this.
Sure.
He really wanted to celebrate all the Black
people,
men and women who, all the sweat and tears and blood that it took for this history to be made.
Great.
So there's an overwhelming response to this idea. Negro History Week started gaining attention across the country. You started seeing it pop up here and there in schools and in certain neighborhoods. People are talking about it. And just to give a little context, in the 1920s, there was a term deemed for Black people called the New Negro. And this was given to them because there was like this rising racial pride and consciousness. And at this point, over that decade, like 1 million people moved from the rural South into like big cities.
Cool.
So you just started to see this like expanding Black middle class that didn't exist before now. They start to become consumers of Black literature and culture. There's like this thirst for knowledge. You started to see like Black history clubs popping up. And so Woodson and his organization just needed to make more content. There just wasn't enough. So they just needed to make more stuff.
He had to become a content creator.
Oh,
the original
my God.
content creator.
100 years later, I'm following in the footsteps of Woodson. I am he. So he starts picking a theme every year for what Negro History Week will be about. They start, and this is what I found super interesting. So him and his association, they provide study materials, still images, lesson plans for teachers. They make posters. They put on plays of prominent Black figures. It was like
Amazing.
a thing.
Wow, the energy.
The energy of it. And I like think about it today and it's like, what? Like it's just a thing. It's like,
Sure.
that's what February is. Just like June is Gay Pride.
You forget that somebody had to like be that groundbreaker.
Yeah, and that it actually at one point meant something so
Yes.
much more. It was like things were
It
happening.
was new information.
Yeah.
Yes.
So at this time, you start to see mayors in certain cities issuing proclamations that it's Negro History Week. There's high schools in progressive cities that are creating Negro history clubs. You start to see ASNLH branches popping up around the country. And you even had what was called the National Brotherhood Week, which was happening in February, which was like progressive white people started their own week to show that like white people aren't the only people in this country and like we're here in solidarity with you, because there's a lot of anti-Semitism and a lot of stuff going on, and they're like, no, this is like what America
We're
is.
united.
We're
I love
united.
that.
We're here for you as well. The 1930s, you start to get some commercialization, and I think we also still to this day see this in Pride, where it's like this is Pride Crest toothpaste.
Sure,
I'm like,
everybody's
my
cashing
queen, is any of the money going to me? But like
In your pocket?
on my teeth. But you had like publishers now who are like, yeah, we want to make some Black literature. Who 10 years ago were
Never
like,
in a
no
million
way.
years,
But they're like,
yes.
if there's money to be made,
Sure.
people will follow it. 1940s, Black communities working to expand the study of Black history in schools. And sometimes this was done secretly. You would have teachers who were like, would have a book and like teach from it and then hide it in their desk or under their chair so the principal didn't see. You know, it's kind of a covert operation. And then 1950, Woodson died. And before he died, he made it clear that like his hope would be that this annual week would become obsolete. Like he wanted...
You don't even need it anymore.
You don't even need
it's
it because
integrated into
the
culture
curriculum,
and
it's all, we're all just learning
Yes.
about it. This we're doing now to get it to that point, but
Sure.
that'll eventually go away. He thought it was actually disrespectful to try to teach all his history in 1 week
Interesting.
out of the year,
Yeah.
which is true.
Yeah, it should just be part of American history.
Of course.
Yes.
In the 1960s, you have the civil rights movement. You start to see freedom schools, and they're incorporating Black history into their curriculum to advance social change. In the late 1960s, you have young Black students on campuses becoming more aware of their links with Africa. In 1976, 50 years into this, the ASNLH used their influence to institutionalize a shift from having it be a week to becoming Black History Month.
I love that.
So that's 50 years in. So this anniversary is literally 100 years ago and then 50 years ago.
Wow.
Since the mid-1970s, every American president, Democrat and Republican, has issued proclamations endorsing the association's annual theme. And what kind of really bummed me out is I love an anniversary. I love a celebration. I hate that Betty White died at 99 and she didn't make it to
Sure.
100. But like, we're celebrating Black History Month's 100th
I
anniversary.
didn't even know it was. I mean, I knew it was Black History Month. Obviously, I didn't know it was the 100th. No one's making.
Nobody
a
does.
peep.
I haven't heard a thing about it.
Yeah.
There should be
Wow.
like, I don't know what the celebrations would, there should be a coin, there should be a stamp,
something.
there should
Yeah.
be,
Yes, a stamp. Of course, a stamp.
unfortunately, for probably several reasons, that is not happening.
Sure. But even like in like culture or branding or marketing or Coca-Cola, like just not seeing in a Super Bowl commercial. I'm
I
not
know.
seeing any of it.
I
That's
know.
really interesting.
And it's almost over. We're halfway through it. I'm like,
Wow.
well, maybe it's coming later. I'm like, oh, wait, it's February. It's like only
is it.
this month. Like, we should have been hearing about it in January.
So true.
Like,
Wild.
or like a big, I don't know, peacock.
Parade.
A 10-part series. Like,
Yeah,
it could be-
yes.
I could have researched it.
You could have been working on that for the past 2 years.
I know, and not telling you. I'm like, I'm actually rich and own a home. I've been working on this incredible series. So I was really disheartened by that, and I was saddened by that. So I figured this is a very small part. I've wanted to do something for Black History Month since we started the pod. And like when we first started, I would like Google like hot brands started by Black people. And I could never find anything that felt right. And then I don't know why, like 2 weeks ago, I was like, wait, Famous Amos that was a black guy.
Yeah, and a good story.
And a good story,
Yeah.
and there's a lot to it. Like, yeah, let's do that. So that's why we're doing this episode of today. I wanted to shout out and recognize and celebrate. Going strong, John. And celebrate Black History Month. I just wanted to shout out, recognize, and celebrate Black History Month.
Are we the only journalists, I'll call us journalists, reporting on the 100th anniversary of Black History Month?
We'll have to look into it. I'll have to Google it. I mean, I did Google it, and like the official Black History Month was like, yes, it's our 100th anniversary.
Sure.
So people know.
Interesting.
It's not just us, but we're going to celebrate it today.
Of course.
By honoring an iconic figure. Wow. All right, so we have Wally Amos. Born July 1st, 1936, the same year that Dumpster became a company. Born and raised in
His mom could have thrown out one of his dirty diapers in a dumpster.
You're not going to believe what's out there. It's this big metal thing. You just throw your garbage in it. It's called a dumpster. It's 1936. He's born and raised in Tallahassee, Florida, and he's raised by Wallace and Ruby Amos. His dad works in like the electric company. His mom is a domestic worker. She's illiterate until adulthood.
Wow.
She's very strict with Wally, but she loves him endlessly. She wants the best for him. He's like a typical kid of the time. He's got a paper route. He's shining shoes. And he himself would not learn to read until later into childhood. Then in 1948, the years that Dr. Bronner's and In-N-Out Burger were established.
My mom was born.
Your mom was born. Boba was born. He is 12 years old. His parents get a divorce.
Oh.
His mom puts him on a train to New York City to go live with his sister. She's hoping to get to New York at some point, too.
Wow.
She's like, you're going to go stay with Aunt Della. And the thought behind it was like, and I'd love, like, you hear all these stories and you kind of, you just take them for face value. Can you imagine just like Peggy, like taking your kid and
thrown
be like,
on a train?
we're sending you to New York and you go live with
I mean, life was wild. 60 plus years ago.
No way to communicate either. It's like, write me a letter when you
Did
get
you
to...
make it? I'll find out in 3 weeks. Well, I guess a telephone.
Yeah, they had telephone.
They did have telephones.
I don't have to Siri
But
that.
still, a kid, I mean, that's a long train ride.
That's a long train
You're
ride.
there with like your little like lunch bag,
Your shoe shine box.
your shoe shine box, your
Offering
newspapers.
Shining shoes on the bus.
Brave kid. Brave kid.
That's why our parents were our parents.
Yeah, tougher stock.
So he, like, we were basically just saying, he takes off, he's got his clothes, some food, his shoe shine box. His aunt is very sweet. She's kind of the opposite of what his mom was. She's very loving. Not that his mom isn't loving, she just was more...
Maybe more warm.
Tough love. Yeah, like, it's not her kid, so that's how aunts and uncles are.
Sure.
One thing that she loves to do, bake cookies.
Ooh, what an aunt to have. It could be worse. You're getting dumped off at a train depot all alone, not a soul in the world who knows your name. And you meet a loving aunt who's sweet and kind and warm, and she loves baking cookies.
Yeah, I mean...
You made it.
You made it. That just made me think, my mom came to visit me one time... 20 plus years ago.
To LA?
To LA from Ohio. She's too scared to fly.
Oh my God.
So she took a bus for 3 days to come and see me. I was so excited that she was coming. I kept checking on the bus schedule. It said like, it's going to be a little off. It was like, oh, the bus is like 2 hours behind.
Wait, did she did she just sleep on the bus?
Whatever she did, she sat there so long, her ankle swelled up to like the size of like watermelons.
Oh my gosh.
It was not pleasant.
Oh my
And the
gosh.
bus stop was in a not ideal part of town.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm checking on it the day she's coming. It's like, oh no, it's like 3 hours late, blah, blah, blah. Mind you, this is still pre-cell phone.
Oh yeah.
She doesn't have a pager. She's never had tech. She doesn't even have a credit card.
So how do you know?
So how do I know?
if she's
So then
there?
it's like, I'm checking. It's like 3
She
hours
could
late.
have gotten like left in Albuquerque.
Anything could have happened.
Yes.
Turns out the bus was on time. So my mom is there waiting for me. Me at home, probably watching Days of Our Lives. Like, oh, it says the bus isn't going to get here for 2 hours. She's sitting terrified in a bus station with mace that my sister had given her.
Oh my gosh.
Just holding this can of mace, waiting for me to come pick her up. And then I get there and this tiny little mommy's just sitting there so scared.
Oh.
And then just in that story, she comes over, she stays in my place. First of all, she had planned to stay for 3 weeks. That's way too long in my tiny apartment. She ended up leaving a week early because we both got so on each other's nerves so much. But
That's an ambitious stay in 300 square feet.
well, I'm traveling 3 days. I may as well get my money's worth. We didn't know. I was so excited. She was there the first night. I left her in my apartment to go get dinner. Mm-hmm. I went outside and I literally did like a happy skip. I was like, yay, mom's here. Twisted my ankle. Had no insurance. The next day, my mom and I had to go to a thrift store trying to find a used pair of crutches.
Yippee! For the first time ever, you thought you could do that like Jiminy Cricket, like clicking your heels together, and you landed. Oh!
I think about that. I am still in the same apartment. I know the little spot of the sidewalk it happened on. I probably think about it 5 times a week when I walk past that.
So cute.
Yeah, cute. So Aunt Della loves to make cookies. Wally is a man after my own heart, loved to lick the beaters. One of my favorite things to do. I don't know what it is about batter and beaters and having to like wiggle and waggle your tongue.
You kind of like to work for it a little bit.
Yeah.
It's different than just getting it on a spoon.
Yeah. Which I also love, but that's like easy delivery. I like to just like, and it's not in a dirty way, but just like you're like really getting to know that beater.
Yeah, your tongue is doing some calisthenics.
And then you find a pocket of like, dough. It's so good. I love to lick a beater.
That's a really cute, like, sitcom moment when you come over and I just made brownies and like you come in and everybody, like the studio audience cheers because it's like, it's Jon. The studio audience cheers. And then I wordlessly, like, maybe I'm on the phone, like taking a call, mixing something in a bowl. And I just hand you the beater wordlessly. And then you just start licking it. It's like, cheers.
Cheers.
It's
Let's
just perfect.
Everyone's like, aww.
It's cute.
Because we
know each other so well. Love it.
Know. Hopefully we can make that happen. You haven't left me a beater in a long time. You've made a lot of things. You wrap them up and put them in the freezer and keep them for me.
Just in case.
And Wally would talk about how they were definitely not rich, but he had a very rich childhood and the house always smelled amazing.
Amazing.
So he develops an interest in baking and cooking. He enrolls in the Food Trades Vocational High School, studies culinary arts for a couple of years. He gets a job at the Essex House in New York, which is like a super fancy hotel.
Wow.
He had hoped to work there as a cook. They put him in the pantry to like do stock in the pantry. A couple of white guys were promoted before him. He gets really frustrated and quits his job, drops out of high school.
Oh.
I don't totally know why. The daughter in the podcast didn't really explain that, and nothing I found explained why he left high school. He's kind of unsure of what he's going to do. So at that time, what do? You join some sort of military thing.
Sure.
He joins the Air Force, ends up serving in Honolulu, Hawaii. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, wow. Not bad.
This starts a lifelong love of Hawaii.
Wait, if you had to join Army, Navy, Air Force, or Marines, what would you join?
I guess. Which one has seamen?
Navy.
Navy.
No surprise there. Happy Valentine's Day. I think I'd be a Marine.
You would be such a bad Marine. I could see you in Air Force, though.
No, hate Sky.
You're Top Gun.
Hate the Sky.
Top Gal. The sequel. Top Gal merch. In the font of Top Gun. My least favorite thing to do, but there you go. So he found it really, he found being black in Hawaii kind of comforting. Florida, obviously, it was a little rougher. That's why, his mom wanted to get him out of there.
Yes.
New York, it was more accepting at the time, but it was still, black people mostly lived in certain areas.
Sure.
And obviously, he had just lost jobs to, white people. Hawaii, they had their own issues, but there was, a different kind of vibe about it.
I mean, we all know that vibe of Hawaii as soon as the plane touches down. You feel it.
Living on the island, they give you that cold, it feels like a dead body lei. Leis always seemed so nice to me, and then I wore one. I was like, oh, it's like I have a dead snake on my neck.
Like clammy, moist
clammy.
plumerias
Yeah.
wrapped around your neck. The first 3 days, you're driving behind somebody who's going 25 miles an hour at a 60 mile per hour speed limit. And you're like, what is wrong with these people? And then by day 4, you got your window down, islands in the stream, you're cruising, loving life.
First time I went to Hawaii, I went with someone that I was interested in, though we were not in a relationship at the time.
It's a good place to fall in love.
Yeah. Leaves first morning before I wake up is gone. Comes back and bought us both those shell necklaces.
Puka shells?
Puka shells.
I think you were in a relationship. I don't think you are allowed to buy somebody a puka shell necklace unless you're dating.
I'll be honest, it was very confusing. At times I thought I was in a relationship.
2 beds or one?
2.
Who slept where?
We both slept on the floor.
Hey, it's Hawaii, baby.
Hawaii.
There's not a bad place to sleep on that whole darn island.
Slept on the beach. I'm like,
Shout out to Gail at the spa, listener, lives in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. And who sent me great Hawaiian treats,
Amazing.
who I mentioned to a Barks and a Burrito, who then spent like... Oh, maybe I'm not supposed to. Sorry. Well,
edit that out.
It's out there.
Bleep it.
She ended
Like
up buying
Taylor.
a bunch of those Hawaiian snacks herself and
Oh
is
my
in love with
gosh.
them.
Yes,
so
they're so good.
Gail's an influencer and I'm an influencer. So he ends up being in the Air Force from 1954 to 1957. He ends up getting his GED before he's honorably discharged from the military. 1957, he heads back to New York, goes to business school for a little bit, falls in love, has a kid, realizes he has to provide, gets a job at Saks Fifth Avenue in the stockroom, making about $85 a week.
Wow.
He works hard. This guy is a hard worker.
Yes.
Like he's got great intentions. He wants to put his best foot forward.
He's bopping around a little bit, but it sounds like
bops.
everything he does, he works hard at.
Works hard at.
Yeah.
While he's there, he gets a little title bump. He wants a little more money. He asks for a $5 a week raise. He's turned down.
Rude.
Quits. Dip.
Dip.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought we clapped. That's merch. I'm getting confused with our bits. So he quits that. Now what's he going to do? He hears, you've heard of the legendary William Morris Agency, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. At the time, they were being criticized for not hiring enough black people.
Interesting.
He's like, I don't know what an agent is.
Uh-huh.
In his head, he thinks it's like this slimy, cigar-smoking kind of guy.
Sure.
Which at that time probably was.
Yeah, maybe a little bit still is.
I'm picturing Don Draper.
Uh-huh, sure.
A little John Hamm action. Mm-hmm. But he's like, you know what? Let's check this out. He ends up getting a job in the mailroom. He learns that's the path to becoming an agent pretty much for everybody, unless you know somebody. So he gets a job in there, and he's like, you know what? I have some good secretary skills. Maybe I could get promoted that. He brings his own typewriter into the mailroom just so he can show off and show people how fast he can type and what he can do.
Oh my gosh. I bring a typewriter with me everywhere just in case.
That's back when typewriters were like probably 70 pounds.
That's really funny.
But it works. Within 2 weeks, he's promoted to a secretary.
They hear like click, click, click. What is that sound? That doesn't sound like mail being sorted.
That's not the sound of licking a stamp. Wait, we don't send the mail. We get the mail. Roger, get out of my face. It's Wally again. We're going to take him down. So he kind of works his way through the system. He ends up getting promoted to be a general trainee. And then in 1962, he becomes the first African-American talent agent in William Morris's history.
Wow, I had no idea this path.
Who knew? That's why in the cold open, I was like, this path is anything but straight.
When you were naming all of his in the cold open, I was like, who could this possibly be?
I know.
Because he is like, he's bopping all over. He's checking boxes from left to right.
He really does.
Wow.
And he would start to refer to himself as the Jackie Robinson of theatrical agency business, which I had to look up that.
He's a good baseball player.
First black baseball player.
And good.
And good.
Yes.
So that's how he saw himself. So he ends up getting put in the music division, and he is determined to be great. He is searching for a big act to sign so that he can really, right away show people what he's got. Mm-hmm. He comes across these two relatively unknown singers, Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, and he's like, you know what? You guys are pretty good. Let's see if we can do something with you. So he introduces them to the firm. He's instrumental. Wait, did you pull over? Do you need to pull over?
Famous Amos discovered Simon and Garfunkel.
Yeah.
Why is that not on the back of the cookie bag?
Oh, we'll get there. We'll get there.
Wow. This is on par with Neil Diamond writing that jingle.
If I hadn't put this in here, I can't wait till you guys talk about it. That is the most apprehensive part of me when I do the Insta egg. The number of This when I see
Can't wait to hear you.
Can't wait
Can't
to
wait
hear
is
you
scary.
talk about
Sure,
dot.
sure.
Because one, I don't remember if we did.
No.
Because I have the memory of a snail.
Uh-huh.
And two, if we didn't, I'm like, I just put like a wink or a like.
We'll see.
Hope
Like, I
you
don't know. We
forget.
will see.
I guess we will see. So he's crucial to signing Paul Simon and Art
Crazy.
Garfunkel. Fun aside, my very first record, my dad took me into, I think it was Gold Circle in Cincinnati.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it was Gold Circle if
Fine.
they had records, or Van Luden's, but it was in Tri-County. I think it was Gold Circle. Or Service Merchandise. It might have been Service
Wow, the
Merchandise.
Cincinnati freaks they're doing donuts
They're like,
on the freeway. They're so excited.
None of these places exist anymore. You can still buy the vintage tees at cincyshirts.com.
Cute.
He was like, I want you to pick your first record. You can pick any record you want in here. And I walked around and I looked at all the records, and there was a record of Paul Simon sitting in a chair like this, just looking so yummy. And I was like, this one, please. I had no idea.
You take out the record, you throw that in the trash, you keep the cover, stick it to your ceiling.
Put it under my mattress. Oh, yeah, put it on the ceiling. I'm not even kidding, think I still have that actual record in my collection.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so.
Wow. Yeah, because I was going to say, I'm like, I don't think you I never think of you associated with like folk music. But
I loved Paul Simon. I bought the Paul Simon box set when I worked at a record store. There was something about him at that time. He ended up marrying Edie Brickell, I think, and she only had one great album. And then she didn't really put out more albums. And I'm like, did he make her stop? Like, I'm building this whole story in my head. But yeah, I love Paul Simon. When he did he would like work with like he's the one that did like the big African like groups.
Yes.
Like with
yeah,
him.
the album Graceland.
Graceland.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Yeah, so that was just a fun little aside. Sorry, I didn't mean to go off topic. I'll stay
Or did you?
on brand. So he ends up signing The Temptations. He books The Supremes on their first tour. Ends up working with the likes of
Believe this.
works with Diana Ross, Sam Cooke, Marvin Gaye, and he's hustling for these musicians. I'm picturing him being like the Jerry Maguire of the time.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
Just like throwing it around there. 1965, he gets divorced. 1966, he gets remarried. And I'm just going to put a little pin in this. I learned a lot about this on the podcast yesterday, but I'm not going into it.
Okay.
He had many, many wives, many, many children over many, many years. I think he was married 6 times to 5 different women, different children. Sometimes he'd leave them behind in New York. Sometimes he wasn't always close with them. Most of the kids, I think, came together for the podcast.
Okay.
But that's not what this story's about.
He should have listened to 2 weeks ago's episode about Trojans.
Trojans.
Maybe he wouldn't have found himself in that pickle.
Someone wrote me yesterday and was like, you didn't mention the Trojan Man. And apparently in the 90s, there was like a mascot where like 2 people would be about to have sex and he'd be like, Trojan Man.
Oh my God, I totally forgot about that.
I know, me too. And he's like, now he's going down a rabbit hole.
Wow.
Sorry, I don't remember who said it, but going down a rabbit hole and they're like looking for these commercials and he can
Yes.
only find audio of it, but he finds other groups that know about it. I'm like, you're in
Weird.
like one of those Berenstein Bear
It's like a
things.
Mandela effect thing. Yeah.
Trojan Man.
That is
As
crazy.
soon as I heard it, he sent me a link to the audio and I was like,
Yes.
I remember that.
That is
sound.
wild.
Yeah. So a lot of personal stuff, but he has dreams of having a huge client list of his own, making a ton of money, and he's really determined to make a name for himself.
This is all pre-cookie?
All pre-cookie. All pre-cookie. This is all pre-cookie.
Insane.
Speaking of making a name for himself, he did have one client named Oscar Brown Jr. And it seemed like every time him and Oscar would meet up out in public, go to lunch, get drinks at a bar, someone would know who Wally is. I'm like, Wally, what's up? What's going on? What's this? One time, they're like far away from the city, and someone comes up and like, Wally, what's up? Oscar looks at him, and he says, you know what you are? You're Famous Amos. You, my friend,
Wow.
are Famous Amos.
There's a 10-car pileup on the freeway right now. Semi-trucks, cars, school buses pulled over to the shoulder. Turn on the radio. You'll hear about this. This is happening nationally on Thursday morning. Wow.
Wow is right. 1967, he thinks his big opportunity comes. WMA is looking for someone to run the entire music department.
Great, he can do it.
He has absolute seniority. He's the obvious pick for the job. There's just one problem.
What?
The people above him don't think that the clients would respect a black man.
You're kidding.
And they pass him over.
Wild.
Yeah. So what does Wally do? What does he do in any of these situations? He quits. Dip! Now, as a side note, while he's an agent, as you can imagine, it's very stressful. He has long days. He goes home. He needs a little way to relax, maybe some sort of self-therapy.
Don't we all?
What does he like to do?
Tell me it's a sweet treat.
Bake cookies.
Oh.
Loves it. He loves to bake them.
Yes.
Loves to make them. He likes to sack them up and give them out to friends. It's just kind of his thing to do.
Fun. He learned from his aunt her special recipe.
Okay, this is going to come a little later. I'll just mention this now.
Okay.
So, Famous Amos's cookies, which we'll go on to, clearly they become famous, are based off of Aunt Bella's recipe, which he, of course, loved, which may or may not be based off of the Toll House cookie recipe on the
back of the
package.
bag. It's a really solid cookie recipe.
I think they literally made a Friends episode about that because someone had lost Phoebe's like grandma's cookie recipe.
Oh, sure.
And then she's like, it was something like Toll House and like Toll House cookies. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I maybe they pulled that from this. I don't know.
That's really funny.
Take it for what it's worth.
Sure.
It could be, but I think a lot. I mean, my mom, most of my mom's famous recipes started off in a cookbook, but over the years you make it your
Get
own.
personalized,
And
and the recipe's on the back of the box. That's the one that you use.
it's a jumping off point.
It's a jumping off point.
Yeah. So, okay, so he quits his job. He decides he's going to go out on his own. He's in New York, but he has stars in his eyes, needs a change of pace, decides he's going to go out to the West Coast. He's got big dreams. He opens
When you said like stars in his eyes based on how he changes careers at a breakneck speed, I thought he was going to become an astronaut. He has stars in his eyes and he needs a change.
Just needs a change.
He looks up to the moon.
There's only one place he can get it. Outer space.
Nothing would surprise me with this man.
Me neither, man.
Wow.
We love Wally. So he goes out to the West Coast, comes to LA, opens his own personal management company. And he's like, you know what? I'm not going to go huge. I'm going to start with one client at first. I'm not desperate to become rich. He's like, if I make a couple, $200-$300 a week, I can get by. But, let's just try to do this thing on our own. He gets this jazz musician and he hustles for this guy. He's getting him concerts. He's getting him appearances. He's doing everything he can for this guy. Meanwhile, his wife is at home. She suffers with mental health issues. She's got a 2-year-old and a 3-month-old at home. Wally's going around the country doing his thing, trying to start a business. She
Mama ain't happy.
has a psychotic break. And he has to put her in a hospital,
Oh my
a mental health
gosh.
hospital.
Wow.
At the same time that is going on, the great plan of having one client, the only way that really works is if that client stays happy.
Yeah.
He gets a call from his client. He's like, Wally, you know what? I don't think you're doing enough. Wally's like, what do you mean I'm not doing enough? I'm leaving my one. I don't know. I don't think he talks like that.
Italian.
Like
Italian
a
guy.
New Yorker. Wait. I'm leaving my wife at home. I'm doing everything. Listen, I don't want to get into it. I'm going to go another way. Thanks for everything. Click. No clients. Wife in the hospital. Tiny kids crying. It's a lot, but he keeps hustling. He jumps around to different agencies trying to keep some income coming in, and it's just a very hard time for him. He was quoted in one of the articles I read saying it was during this time that he started making cookies even harder than before because it really calmed him down. And he's taking cookies everywhere now. He's sending them to potential clients. He's bringing them into meetings. It's like a calling card. It becomes his hook. Everyone starts to get used to him bringing the cookies. If he comes without a cookie, they're like,
where
well,
are cookies?
Where's the cookies? I need a little, it's 2:00. I need a little sweet treat.
Oh, man.
Then one day he's at Quincy Jones's office. I believe he had an office in the same building, and he's talking to Quincy's secretary. And this Queen is just munching on some of his cookies. I like to picture crumbs falling out of her mouth.
Sure.
And she's like, you should open up a shop and sell these things. And, his business is struggling. It's not easy. His clients are gone or they suck. He's in debt and he thinks to himself, what if I did? Like, is that a thing? There is no such thing in the world as a chocolate chip shop. What would that even look like? And he's driving around LA and then he's like, keeps seeing taco stands everywhere. And he sees liquor shops and he's like, these places just sell one thing. And call me crazy, they might want liquor more than cookies, but they definitely probably want cookies more than tacos. Maybe there's something to this. 1974, he goes with his kids to the Grand Canyon. Maybe his wife had said family. I don't know where she is in the picture anymore. So they go to the Grand Canyon, and this reminds me every time I watch the movie Contact. And at the end, Jodie Foster is sitting there on the edge of some canyon with her headphones on. It's like, this is the moment when I tell her, go take some pictures of yourself because you look prime right now. I've chased that moment my whole life, just this like absolute serene. And he's sitting there and he's looking at this insane panoramic view of the Grand Canyon. And he's just really overcome with awe. And he's like, this has all looked exactly like this for millions of years. Could man be any more insignificant? Like, if you want to do something, just do it. Like, life is short. This is magical. We are going to be gone. And he really just has this like whole turning point of existence.
We had that same thing when we decided to start a podcast.
I'll never forget the first time I put these on my ears and I heard my gay voice for the first time.
After you had gone on a solo road trip to see the total lunar eclipse, you realized, I'm just one man at this point in history. What do I have to lose? Jon, you have a gift. Share it with the world. Tell them you eat scabs. Tell them.
Okay. God, I ate a scab this week. But it was so tiny. I mean, it happens so rarely.
We said we're not going to talk about it anymore.
Okay, so he's like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's open a chocolate chip cookie shop.
Sure, why not?
Okay, now remember, he dropped out of high school.
Sure.
He took a little bit of business classes.
He maybe if I was going to, if I was his friend, I might say you tend to prematurely dip. I think you dip a little early.
Oh my God.
What?
I wish he was still around.
Why?
I dipped for the chip. I would have made merch for him. Dip for the chip. Merch for Amos. Dipping for the chippin'. Yeah, he dips, but you know what? What he lacks in business skills, from everything I have read and everything his daughter and children say, he was so charismatic. He was one of those people that people loved to just hear him talk.
Sure.
He had this energy about him. And I think that goes a long way.
What are you learning in high school anyway? Pythagorean theorem?
Octagons.
All right, 11th grade, first day of your junior year. Octagon.
Can you spell that? Oh, it's on the board.
How many sides? Let's count them.
Let's count them together.
That's about where my education tops out, is octagon.
Remember that terrible show, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Oh, yeah. That was really rough for me also.
I was not.
I was not.
All right. So he's not a businessman, but he works hard. He has a lot of charisma. Kind of like that fake it till you make it kind of guy, I think. And he's talking to his good friend at A&M, and he tells him what he's thinking about doing, and his friend's like, let's figure it out then. I'll help.
Great.
And the two of them come up with a plan. They come up with a logo, which is pretty much the logo we see today, a beautiful cursive logo. It's Famous Amos, chocolate chips. I think chocolate chips was written in the tail. And they come up with bag design, the story, the lore, everything that they need to what this is going to be.
Wow.
Then they need capital, of course. You need some money. He reaches out to some of his celebrity friends. Helen Reddy, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's an Australian singer. She sang that song, I Am Woman, that was in, I think, the Sex and the City movie.
Yeah.
I am woman, hear me roar. And her husband, they chip in $5 $5,000. Artie Mogul, who was a big record exec at the time,
Cool.
he puts in $10K. And then Marvin Gaye puts in $5K.
Oh my gosh.
$25,000, which today comes out to about $125,000.
That's not a terrible start.
Not terrible for the time. Now they need a place where they're going to do this. They go around looking for buildings. They come across this really cute little A-frame building at 7181 Sunset Boulevard.
Can we go?
I looked it up. The same building is there. It's now called I forget, but look up the address. The same A-frame is still there. It's still the same building. I'm sure it's been remodeled and renovated.
Yeah, but the exterior looks probably like it did.
Yeah.
Wow.
I looked it up a couple of days ago.
That's so fun because there's so few buildings that have even made it 10 years in LA. It's so poorly preserved.
I know. And there's a little plaque there that's home of original,
Really?
Famous Amos. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's on the registry or not.
Cute. That's fun.
But this is right next to Rock and Roll Ralph's, if you're familiar with LA.
That's right where I lived.
Formosa. This
I
is
lived at Rock and Roll Ralph's.
in the store.
Yeah, in the produce department, right by the Seventh Veil strip club.
You'd be surprised how comfortable a watermelon can fill in for a pillow.
If you get just the right one.
I'm like, why wouldn't you use a bag of marshmallows? Watermelon.
It was called, that was where I moved to my first place in LA, and it was called Rock and Roll Ralph's because you would see Slash there.
I was about to say Sting, but in my head I was picturing Kiss.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you
Bret
see,
Michaels.
Bret Michaels is getting microwave popcorn.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, we loved Rock
and Roll Ralph's. How funny.
I don't hear anyone call it that anymore, but that was
No.
definitely a thing back in the day.
We're not really on the Hollywood scene.
Yeah, and this was definitely not an obvious choice for a chocolate chippery. It was kind of a sketchy area. You had prostitutes roaming around.
Sure.
It was next to the Erotica School of Massage. Across the street, there was a strip parlor that had one of those nude, girl
That was
signs.
where I lived, right there. Yeah,
Really?
That's the strip club I lived next to.
That was still there. There was the Institute of Hypnosis. Eventually, the shop does get held up a couple of times. It's not the greatest location, but
Sure.
it was a few blocks away from A&M Records, where he had an office with Quincy Jones. It wasn't far from the Sunset Strip, and he really felt that he,
Wow.
if done right, could transcend what that neighborhood was.
I mean, God, we talk about this anytime we happen to find ourselves in Hollywood, which is very rarely. You think you're going on a Hollywood vacation to see the stars. You think Sunset Boulevard. This is where the magic happens.
Yeah.
You bring your 8-year-old and your 4-year-old and your 2-month-old baby, and you're walking hand in hand past erotic massage parlor, strip club, hookers. It is
dirty old McDonald's.
It
Everything
is
I hate
rough.
I hate that we have not gotten to a point where we really take care of our tourist attractions.
Right? It should be the glitziest part of town.
I know.
It should be
It's a
so
bummer.
nice.
The stars on the Wall of Fame, they're all over. They're just, I don't know.
They're
it's
filthy.
a little depressing.
It's so sad.
And now it's just becoming big apartment buildings.
Yeah,
and
don't come to Hollywood on vacation.
Stay away.
Stay
But
in John's place. He'll host you for 3 weeks.
I still love LA and
Oh, yeah.
California,
Best
though.
city in the world.
Best city in the world. And then, of course, he needs a name, but he doesn't because he's already been given one. I mean, how are you going to beat?
Famous Amos.
How are you going to beat Famous Amos?
That's so good.
Now, it's only 5 months since he had this idea that he is ready to open shop.
Wow.
And he goes all out with this whole extensive advertising campaign. There's radio ads, there's TV commercials. He puts a large ad in the Hollywood Reporter announcing the cookie like it was a movie. He puts out press kits with 8x10 glossy headshots of the cookie.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute.
He makes it this whole premiere thing. He hand
Why do
delivers.
I want that on eBay?
I know.
8x10 glossy of a Famous Amos cookie debut?
I know.
God, signed by the cookie?
Signed by the cookie. Heart cookie. What would it be? You're so sweet. Wait, no, I am. Heart cookie. He hand delivers most of the 2,500 invitations that he made.
Oh my gosh.
On which it says, premiere of the delicious and delectable Famous Amos chocolate chip cookie.
Wow.
He has a party on the 9th of March, and the grand opening is going to be on the 10th. But he stays up all night the night before, just baking and baking and baking to have as many cookies as he can. On March 9th, 1975, 1 month before the Melting Pot opens their first store in Florida.
Wow. Timeline.
Wally Amos, age 38, opens. And it's not just the first
He's only 38?
He's only 38 at this point.
God.
Everyone dies back then by like 60. They got to get it all done.
You mean in the 80s?
Oh, yeah. He's 75.
This is 1975.
Yeah, he did only die 2 years
He's
ago.
a year younger than me.
Wait, you're 39? Are you really? I thought you were 34.
We all did, babe. He's lived a lot of life.
Shh. Wait, what is that knocking?
Don't answer.
Wait, I gotta just take a peek.
No, that to me, the knocking of my 40s is to you, the spectrum calling for their bill. If you don't answer, it's not real.
It's just 200. All right, so he has this party on the 9th, and it looks like a movie premiere. There's red carpet going down the sidewalk. There's valet parking. There's a strolling band with
fun.
Steel drums. One of the kids said the back parking lot was painted. He described it as a 1970s Willy Wonka fever dream.
Oh, my gosh.
There's a giant picture of Wally on the front of the store, like holding a huge chocolate chip cookie. There's a ton of plants inside of the store. Some people said it looked more like a greenhouse than it did a cookie shop.
Sure.
Because I think it was his mom or one of his wives was really into plants.
Okay.
There was a huge photo of his son chomping on a cookie inside. He had signs that said free smells, and his favorite catchphrase was have a very brown day. I don't love that. Not for any other reason than it just doesn't sound, I don't know, have a very brown day.
It doesn't have like a ring
don't-
to it.
Like if someone just said that, I wouldn't be like, oh, chocolate
You know, I
chip
actually have a
cookies.
good one. Have a crummy day for like crumbs.
I also have a good one. Have a chippy day.
That's great too.
Both of those. Better
fun.
than have a brown day.
Have a brown day.
Let's dig 'em
And
up.
also, free smells, I actually think is good.
On the bathroom.
I like it.
Free smells. Yeah, that's
smells.
okay.
That's fun.
Put that outside and like lure him
Sure,
in.
yeah.
The kitchen door had a big star on it, as if you're going into the dressing room of the star, which is the cookie.
Cute. Fun.
He had merch. He had T-shirts, bumper stickers, buttons, posters, and he's selling 3 kinds of cookies, and that's it. You had chocolate chip with pecans. That's the one that his aunt was
So good.
known for. You had chocolate chip with peanut butter and butterscotch chip with pecans.
Yummy.
That was it. That's the whole
Great.
selection.
You better like nuts. No nut allergies here.
No nut allergies here, but free smells. So those are the 3 cookies that he was making, and he would say that they're very similar to what his aunt was making, and he liked to believe that her spirit was guiding him through this entire endeavor.
Love that.
Which is very sweet.
That's sweet.
So then you had famous people start coming to the shop, and when you have famous people, you start to have normal people coming into the shop. Not that famous people aren't normal, but you know what I mean.
They aren't, honey.
They aren't.
We've been in showbiz long enough to know that.
So everyone's coming in. His son Sean starts helping him. He's standing on like a milk crate to like run the cash register. Very cute. I think this was on the podcast. She had someone describe who had eaten cookies from that time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I was so depressed about where they become, and we'll get to why that happened.
Sure.
But the cookies were described as a work of art. They were crisp, chewy, charming, beautiful, heavenly. He sold them by the pound in these cute little bags. They were $3 a pound, which is about $18 a pound today.
Wow.
So it was a premium product.
Premium cookie. Handmade by Amos himself.
Amos himself, Mr. Famous. And it was a very quick hit with the public. Only 5 months after it opened, I found an article calling the cookie a star. I think I compare it to kind of like Sprinkles cupcakes. Like it just had this like new thing about it of, oh, how charming. It's like such a basic thing, but it's elevated. So
And
yes.
the novelty of it being a store that only sells cookies. Like it reminds me of just like Millions of Milkshakes, which was like a West Hollywood celebrity kind of like expensive milkshake store, like Pinkberry, where it's like, oh, it's just yogurt. There's like kind of more curiosity about a store that just does one thing. Your expectation is, oh, that's going to be like a really good version of that thing.
Yeah. And it's like that right kind of thing where someone who is not a celebrity or rich, they can save up and get a fancy cookie. It's like it's not, you know, a Rolex.
Bring it to a baby shower.
Bring it to a baby shower.
Great.
And the article would credit the success not just with the cookie, but with Wally and like his amazing promotion skills. As I mentioned, all the things that he did to like get that on there. And he was really combining he may have dipped early in a lot of things, but he got something from each of them.
Sure.
He got a little bit of business college training. He got some showbiz background. He learned how to promote things. He learned how to manage people. And he applied that all to the cookie. And what he said was really great about having the cookie be the star is it wasn't like you were trying to introduce like, oh, this is my first movie. Everyone knows what a chocolate chip cookie is.
It's already famous.
It's already famous.
I love that.
So he's going in with like and it's always a hit. It's not like, oh, that cookie made a dud this time.
Sure.
Unless you get a rancid nut, which can happen.
It can happen, but it's rare.
It's rare.
I very rarely have had a bad chocolate chip cookie.
Very rarely.
If it's like a homemade chocolate chip cookie, they're always good.
Exactly. And he kind of positions himself as the Colonel Sanders of chocolate chip cookies. He's the face of the cookie. He would do any promotion he could on it, TV ads, go to grand openings, radio
He got
interviews.
the cooking time down to 8 minutes.
It only took him 8 minutes to make a chocolate chip cookie. The article would go on to say that the cookie had become a status symbol at parties of the great and not great in Hollywood and beyond. They told stories of a customer that would buy like 7 pounds every week and send them to their family in New York.
Oh my gosh, how cool.
A family from Hawaii buying 40 pounds to take back home with them. This one I found insane and maybe illegal. A United Airlines stewardess would buy several pounds and sell them on her flights. So she's just going around like, you want a cookie?
Hey, nothing's illegal in the sky.
I love it. There's no laws in the sky. He really wanted it to be the Rolls Royce of cookies, where you didn't even have to doubt the quality. If you heard Famous Amos, you just knew that you were getting a...
I see what you mean. To go from a status symbol like this to vending machine in a bowling alley is...
depressing.
That's a long fall.
It is so depressing. And I have some of those vending machine ones here, which we'll chomp on in a minute. So very quickly, he's selling 300 pounds of cookies a day. Within months, he's able to open another store in Tarzana in the Valley.
Okay.
He's bringing in $20,000 to $30,000 a month in cookies, which is today between $125,000 to $135,000 a month.
Wild.
In December, because people are like getting them for gifts, he's bringing in $45,000. He starts selling them in fancy food stores. He gets deals with department stores. Macy's starts selling them. Bloomingdale's in New York is putting them in like a dozen stores.
I did not know this.
Yeah, he convinced someone to help him put an ad in People magazine to promote that they could do mail order. They spent $5,000 for that ad, and it quickly brought in $20,000 in mail order dollars. 1 year later, Famous Amos cookies have become this was a quote from a magazine, and I love it. So this is 1 year later. Famous Amos cookies have become the rage of the jet set, served with the same snob value as Coors beer, Beluga caviar, and Chasen's chili.
Coors beer?
Coors beer used to be like had a moment.
Prestige? Wow.
Caviar, I could see just says caviar.
Caviar and Coors?
And I don't know Chasen's chili. That must have been a cool thing here back in the day.
That is really wild.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the Coors beer really cracked me up.
That's funny.
Some of the celebrities...
When only the finest will do. I drink Coors.
Coors and a cookie. And while I'm here, a condom. Life hacks from On Brand. Some of the celebrities known to love the cookies were Carol Burnett, Mary Tyler Moore, John Denver, Elton John, Jack Nicholson. Really some big hitters of the time.
Yes, you're rubbing elbows with the stars.
Someone said that he would be so happy some days with what he had created and how well it was doing. You would drive down Sunset Boulevard and see him doing a little tap dance outside and his big laugh and smile.
He should watch that sidewalk because he is going to sprain an ankle. If he is celebrating a little too hard.
People honk and wave, and he cracks his ankle, goes to the Valley Thrift to get a used crutch.
Did you find a crutch?
I think we did, but it was like too short or too tall.
It was a prop from a kid playing Tiny Tim in a play.
Probably.
And you're like,
went to my local theater. You guys did A Christmas Carol like 3 years ago, right? I know this is a big ask.
You see, I was celebrating my mommy being in town to visit.
I've always been a mama's boy. But don't get me wrong, I'm very independent. But I was just happy that she took a train 3 days to get here. So by the late 1970s and into the early 80s, he's really become a pop culture figure in this country. 1977, he is on the cover of Time magazine with 3 other people, and the title of that issue is Hot New Rich.
Wow.
1979, Andy Kaufman, who, if you don't know him, look him up, iconic weird comedian of the time, artist of the time. He took his entire audience out for Famous Amos Cookies and Milk after his Carnegie Hall show.
Oh my god!
He ended up being on an episode of Taxi, playing himself in like a dream where they were kind of making a fun of Famous Amos Cookies. Like Andy Kaufman was making cookies, but his secret ingredient was cocaine. So then he was having like hallucinations or something, and he sees like Famous Amos come from heaven. I haven't seen it. That's just what I gathered.
That's funny.
And
I watched a lot of Taxi as a kid.
I did too. One of those shows where it's like, it seems depressing, and way too adult, but you still watched it.
I don't know. Yeah.
Danny
on Nick
DeVito,
at
like
Night.
MASH too was, yeah. Okay, now I'm only going to tell one person to pull over right now.
Okay.
And that is myself. 1979, he is featured in Interview magazine. If you are not familiar with Interview magazine, it was a magazine created...
Wait, was? It's not around anymore?
I don't think it is. I think they're gone.
Sad.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, celebrities would interview other celebrities.
But do you know who created it?
No.
Andy Warhol.
I didn't know that.
He was featured in Interview magazine. Then, when Andy Warhol was promoting his new book, Exposures, Famous Amos and Andy Warhol threw a party on Sunset at the Famous Amos cookie shop. They called the party Amos and Andy Warhol was there to sign copies of his book. I love that I'm only like a couple decades away of where I was like, you know what? I think I'm going to run down to the cookie shop and get Andy Warhol's autograph.
God. I mean, you would have been working yourself to the bone to get into that party.
I have fantasies of meeting Andy Warhol where I just mention how much I love him and his art, and he eventually just gives me a painting because he had so many that he'd be like,
yeah. I mean, there's just printing them out.
Just take one.
Just take one.
Just
it's nothing to me.
But I mean, I died. He ended up inviting Andy in New York to come to the cookie factory to see how the cookies are made.
Oh my gosh.
I just did not know this relationship between Amos and Andy.
An unexpected friendship.
I know.
Wow.
Very jealous.
How cool.
Then, a very important moment. In 1979, a longtime friend and publicist introduced him to Literacy Volunteers of America. And he would become an advocate for literacy because his mom couldn't read and he went a long time without learning to read. And this would be like a decades-long relationship and a huge life mission of his to teach people to read, to give talks on the importance of reading. And he would go on to help thousands and thousands of adults learn how to read.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And by this time, he's only 41.
40, I mean, honestly,
like literally 41.
Literally, he's 42 maybe. Maybe 42.
Wow, we need to get off our asses.
No shit. 1980, he donates his iconic outfit, which is like a Panama hat and like kind of like a, what are those, Hawaiian shirts?
Hawaiian shirt,
to
cute.
the Smithsonian.
Oh my God.
He's like 43 and they're like, you know what? We need Famous Amos's outfit in here. That's what I'm saying. This all seemed to happen so fast.
Yes.
And so they took those to recognize his achievements as an African-American entrepreneur. Early 1980s, continuing to grow the company. 1985, we're at about 70 locations. There's different varieties of cookies.
I had no idea it was like a chain.
I looked it up. I was like, are there still some? Like, I want to go to one.
It was like Mrs. Fields, like where there's like just a chain of an independent cookie store.
Mrs. Fields is about to come into the picture.
Oh my God.
That year, 1985, they make about $10 million in sales, but it's still a $300,000 loss. Why? Remember, he's not a great businessman. He doesn't make great decisions. He struggled to keep up with the brand's growth because they had a franchise model that wasn't really working. They were losing money on that. They were slow to automate production. They're still making these cookies like
by hand,
basically.
Yeah.
They were very slow to embrace computers into the business. There was some theft in the company where someone or people were taking some money from the company. And Wally was just living a much bigger life than he probably should have been.
Sure, yeah.
Because he didn't apparently want fame, but from what his daughters and children would say, he kind of needed it. Like there was a great, I don't know if it was a great quote or if I didn't come up with it. Someone else did. Like, he set out to make the cookie famous, but the cookie made him famous.
Yes.
It was kind of like this symbiotic
Well,
thing.
and with his personality, his charisma, it sounds like he's a natural fit for the spotlight.
Yeah.
Sure.
Totally.
But to know how to, like, to have a great idea that people like and respond to and to promote it and to do the PR side, that's like a totally different skill than like scaling it and making sure all the numbers are consistent and that your margins are good. Like, that feels like you bring in somebody else to do that.
Right.
That's a tough job for Wally.
That's what we need for the pod.
We
I mean,
need-
we're great at that. We need
great
someone
at
to help
that.
scale it.
we need a major corporate takeover.
We need what are those things we hate?
A private equity
Private
firm.
equity firm to come in and take over on brand.
Sure.
They don't even say clip clop times
To
anymore.
figure out where to trim the fat. Too many pillows on the table. You have 2 pillows on the table. People
there's-
asked why.
There's echoing. Well, I know. Why do they have 2 pillows? You'd be surprised.
We haven't gone back to clip clop times in a while. We'll have to next week.
I know. So in that 10 years between 75 and 85, when they first started till now, when things are getting a little rocky, you had Mrs. Fields open up, you had Blue Chip Cookies open up, David's Cookies, Cinnabon. You had a lot more niche things coming in, a lot more to choose from. 1985, he's like, you know what? I gotta sell it to save it. So he sells 51% of the company.
Okay.
To get that money. He gets $1.1 million for that, which he thinks he's going to be able to reinvest in the company and grow it. What sucks with that is he now loses, he is not final decision maker anymore. He doesn't have a majority stake in the company anymore. Then it's like that roller coaster that we've seen a few times. So that happened in 1985. That same year, the company that bought that 51% sells it to another company for $5 million. So
Wow. They just turn it around.
they flipped it. Within 5 months, they make like $5 million off of it
for doing nothing.
for doing nothing.
Terrible.
1986, they get a new president. 1987, it's sold again with a new owner.
This is bad.
They move from handmade to machine made. 1988 is really the nail in the coffin. And I didn't even write the name of the company that bought it, but
Because them.
because them. Because you know what?
That's right.
So this new owner comes in and they're like, you know what? We're going to go from gourmet to premium. That doesn't sound bad. Gourmet is what he is selling.
Okay.
Handmade or, individual cookies.
Yeah. High quality
High
ingredients.
quality, feel like homemade.
Yes.
Premium is this.
Is there a definition for the term premium?
Premium
Like how-
apparently is like Keebler cookies, like on a grocery store shelf.
Premium.
This is a premium cookie.
Premium.
I would think this would be a trash cookie.
Yeah.
No
wild.
offense.
I mean, I
Keebler.
actually do still like those.
I mean, that's why I bought the large
12
box.
pack.
No, I literally couldn't find. I was at Albertsons. Almost couldn't find
You
them.
have to go to a bowling alley.
You have to go to a bowling alley. So here's all the things that this new company did. They
Okay.
go from gourmet to premium. They close all the stores.
For how hard you have to work and for how lucky you have to get that kind of energy and momentum, that prestige, the panache, the star power around your brand, to just throw that away.
They don't care. They only see dollar signs. Will we make more money if it's on a grocery store? Yeah. We don't have to have employees. We don't have to have insurance. we
Sure,
don't have to
yeah.
have rent. We don't have to have ovens.
Instead of using butter, we'll switch to margarine. Instead of using whatever. Yeah, sure.
Instead of chocolate chips, we'll use
Chocolate
brown
flavored.
teeth. Old dog teeth.
Old dog teeth painted brown.
Painted brown.
That's right.
So they move into grocery stores, vending machines,
Yes.
packaged cookies. Wally's like, dip. He doesn't want any part of this. He leaves, signs some papers, and it is unsure currently to this day if he understands that what he signed also gave away his name.
Ouch.
1987, he is still able, he's not going to become instantly unrecognizable. So he's able to ride this for a bit. He hosted a television series designed to teach others how to read, entitled Learn to Read, produced by
Right.
Kentucky Educational Television.
Amazing.
And he is able to use his celebrity to earn money in different ways. He writes a ton of books. He gives motivational speakers. He's promoting literacy. He becomes one of the most requested public speakers in the country.
Wow.
He's a really great speaker. He's kind of built for that.
He honestly should have had a podcast. Like, wrong time.
You know
Right guy, wrong time.
You know what's crazy? He was alive when we started.
He certainly could have started a podcast. He could have started a podcast when Doughboys did, 2017.
He could have been. Unfortunately,
he would have been a great guest.
He really would have.
Oh, man.
He really would have.
That hurts.
He becomes a spokesperson for different brands. So this guy has cookies in his blood, and he can't stay away from it for too long. He tries to go at making cookies again, but he uses his name, and he's sued for that. He doesn't even have enough money to get a lawyer. That company that did all the bad things, they finally sell their piece of it for $61 million.
Rude.
Less than like 10 years later.
Crazy.
How much did Wally get? Nothing. Not a dollar of it. For the rest of his life, he kind of remains financially unstable. He tries and tries again. He had a company called Chip and Cookie. He had a tongue-in-cheek company called Uncle, it's supposed to sound Hawaiian, Uncle Nonam, but it's spelled no name because his name was taken away from him. That ends up becoming a muffin company that seems like it did okay for a little bit, but I don't think anymore. He tried Aunt Della's cookies. He tried Cookie Kahuna.
And they're the same like recipe for cookies.
Probably.
But it's just not...
It's not
sticking the same way.
He's an old guy in Hawaii. It's a different time. It's a different scene. When I said Cookie Kahuna, does that sound familiar to you at all? That doesn't sound familiar at all. What if I said, hello, sharks. My name is Wally Amos, and I'm trying to start a cookie company called Cookie
He went
Kahuna.
on Shark Tank?
He went on Shark Tank. And all the interview bites from his, they're like, it was so sad to see.
I mean, honestly, this will make me cry.
I'm literally getting teary and knew it was, and haven't felt teary about it at all. But I remember it. I remember seeing him on there. And he's just like, he wanted $50,000 for 20% equity of his company.
At this point, he's now 52.
83.
God.
He's in his 80s now.
Oh.
Yeah.
Retire, relax, you've worked hard.
So he doesn't get a deal there. At this point, he's living in a single room in a Hawaiian YMCA, the same YMCA that he was on the board of 10 years earlier. His final years just see a series of family issues and struggles. He's eventually diagnosed with dementia. There's a lot of drama there. His family moves him away from Hawaii. He wants to get back. He figures out a way to get back on his own without a driver's license.
Oh my gosh.
And then on August 13th, 2024, he passed away.
Oh, wow.
And that's the story of Wally Amos and Famous Amos cookies. I had a couple fun facts. Let's see if they're still fun. One of them was one I already told. 2012, he played himself on an episode of The Office.
That's fun.
That is a fun fact.
That's fun, yeah.
Yeah,
Go back and watch that.
Yeah, and that's the story. And like I said, I got some late research on this from a podcast called My Dad, Famous Amos, called Tough Cookie, The Wally Famous Amos Story by Sarah Amos. Very long title. 6 episodes, fun to listen to. Interesting story. She's a good podcaster. I kind of want to do some biography pods.
Yeah, that's cool.
Do some history pods.
Yeah.
They get the music and the sound bites in. It's like a little visual,
fun.
like ding, ding, ding.
Cookies for sale.
Cookies for sale. So I guess before we go, or
Let's try 'em.
while you're deciding, or maybe you have enough information now, you can't base whether that's a good question. Do we base whether they're on brand or off brand for us from his cookie or the ones that we're able to eat today?
This is tricky, and I actually regret saying since 1975.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call it that. Doesn't have the story on the back. Doesn't have the picture of him. I bet you his cookie recipe didn't have palm kernel oil shortening in it.
I bet it didn't.
I
Oh
bet
my
it
God.
didn't.
Best by October 12, 2026. He died on October 13th.
Wow. Do you think it's related?
Probably.
It says original recipe. No, it's not. Original recipe?
Well, maybe they're just saying this is an original recipe.
I mean, but it's like there's no way that his had all of this.
His didn't have
crap
all
in
these
it.
preservatives in it. His were, what I didn't realize, instead of like a crumb cookie, his were mini. They were like...
Oh, they were always tiny?
I think they were always tiny.
Oh.
You buy a bag of like tiny little cookies. I think that's why they sold them by the pound.
By the pound. That's fun. I feel bad saying that I know that his story was a bumski. I feel like I had seen one of those clickbait things at the bottom of a website where it's like, you'll never believe what this child star looks like now, where it's like the creator of Famous Amos, whatever, a tragedy. And I feel like that was kind of in my mind. But that's not fair because he had an incredible life, incredible success. And that is what we should know about him. Not just the sad ending where he got screwed over. What a legacy.
Yeah, and what's interesting about the podcast is like it's told through Sarah, who definitely had her own opinions about her dad her whole life. Like there were times where she like couldn't stand decisions he was making. She never saw the Shark Tank, and she faced all of that when she did the podcast. And I think the podcast is more than just a story about him. It's it's like seeing your parent as a human being, I think, which as you get older, you start to do when all of a sudden you're helping make decisions for your parents or taking care of them.
They're vulnerable in a way you hadn't really experienced before.
Yeah. And I look at these old pictures now of my mom and dad, and I'll see them on a trip, and I can now visualize, oh, that's like when I went here. Like they're just two kids going to look at this thing. Like they don't have everything all figured out. Everyone's just doing the best they can.
And it sounds like he was maybe a complicated guy and a complicated father to have, like his relationship with his children. So I can totally, that's cool that she did this kind of more personal take on the history. Honestly, I've gotten these from vending machines before, and I think they're still good. So
honestly, I just ate one. I think it's good. It's not great. I could eat a couple bags of these. I would dip 2 at a time into milk and get them soft a little bit, or I would mush them into some vanilla ice cream.
I like them better than Chips Ahoy, and I would never get Chips Ahoy from a vending machine at this point in my life. And I do, if Famous Amos is in a vending machine, I've gotten this many times, and I think they're good. And so it's a hard-on brand for me.
I think it's a hard-on brand for me, too, based both on story, charisma, all of it, package. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought these were going to be trash.
No, they're good. I like when these kind of convenience foods switch to this kind of like velvety matte packaging. I find that kind of feels like a premium product, to use their fake ass word.
Yeah.
As opposed to the glossy. It kind of makes it feel a little more sensual.
Yeah. I feel like it also has the undertones of trying to make you think it's healthier, because I feel like healthy Cheetos will use this kind of bag, and bad Cheetos will use...
Baked Cheetos use the velvet bag, and trash Cheetos use the glossy bag. Yeah. So it's like, ooh, just a little... I'm watching my carbs.
How many servings is this bag? Just one whole pouch is a serving, 140 calories. That's 10 calories less than a can of Coke.
And 9 grams of sugar is actually not bad either. That's like less than a granola bar.
To be fair, this whole bag has 3 cookies in it. I don't know how many yours had.
Mine had 5.
What?
Yours did not have 3.
I've eaten 1 and there's only 2 in here.
Mine had 5.
Okay, quality control.
There you go.
Private equity. That's what you get. All right, well, there you go. That's Famous Amos. Happy Black History Month. I'm glad we finally got one in the banks for that.
Amazing.
And there you go. Well, before we go, I need to give some shout-outs to our Freaks of the Week, and let's figure out who they are. Before I tell you who the Freaks of the Week are, I need to tell you how to become a Freak of the Week. If you're not familiar, on our Instagram story every Wednesday, I post a little puzzle that is a clue to what our episode is going to be that week. If you can figure out what the brand is and shoot me the name, if you get it right, I'm going to send you a little freak badge to let you know that you got it right, and I'm going to add your name to the Wheel of Freaks, which I spin 5 times every episode to deem those people our Freaks of the Week. And that's who the following 5 people are. We have Megan Carethi. I love her name. She has 3 I's in her last name.
Fun.
Or it's Meg Carethi, but Megan, more formal. I like to call her Megan. We have Audrey Grace. We have Shepard Boucher. We have Taylor S. And we have Jenna Kotak Thorne. So congratulations. Thank you guys for playing the egg. I really appreciate it. If you don't play the egg, try it. If you're not on Instagram, get on it. Follow us. Check out the egg. Check out Marissa's posters that she makes for every show. Check out our supplementals where we put in more information. We're going to have some fun little pictures of Famous Amos in there for this show. I'm just losing my train of thought. I ate 1 cookie and now I'm ready for a nap. But yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys. Congrats.
And while we're giving shout outs, I like to shout out a lovely listener who left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. We have Beanie Weenie, who says, Audio Sunshine. It's so nice to find a podcast that is genuinely funny, informative, and well produced. Shout out to Alpal, producer. Even better, the hosts are clearly having fun, care about one another, and have nothing but positivity toward their listeners. Thank you, Jon, Marisa, and Alpal, for welcoming us to the Gab Fest. So sweet.
Audio Sunshine, merch. That's really good. On brand is Audio Sunshine.
That's really good. We might quote you on that.
We didn't hear it here. We've already thought of that, and we've actually talked about that before.
Look for it on TeePublic.
I thought you were going to say, look for it on Teapot.
Teapot.
Did you get the new limited edition On Brand Teapot?
Honey, we'll slap our merch on anything. If you haven't left us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, please do that. It boosts the show, boosts our mood. Write to us on Instagram, chat with Jon in bed, at On Brand the Pod, TikTok, at On Brand the Podcast. To play the egg game, see the show. I had 2 cookies and I'm ready to pass out.
I really am.
We'll be back next week with an all-new episode.
All right, thanks, guys. And remember, we may go off topic, but we're always going to be on brand.
Bye.
Goodbye.